Chapter 278, The Separation of the Vessel Spirit of the Earthboard. This chapter is updated by Novels.pl. Zhang Yuochen, isn't he the student of the School of the Martial Market who has stolen all the thunder lately? Rumor has it that he killed more than one warrior in the Heaven Realm. And he is also the Hall Master of the Silver-Gowned Elder's secret disciple. That explains everything. I knew that a teenage master can't just have appeared from nowhere. So it is him. Zhu Qingshan was a little regretful for underestimating Zhang Yuochen just now. If he could be a little more careful, he might have noticed Zhang Yuochen's real identity. Even though Zhu Qingshan had passed the third level of the Juju Tower, he was only strong enough to fight against the weakest warriors in the Heaven Realm. But Zhang Yuochen was strong enough to kill a master at the mid-stage of the Heaven Realm. How could the two of them be compared? Zhu Qingshan looked up at Lei Jing and thought with shock, is he the Hall Master of the Silver-Gowned Elder and Zhang Yuochen's master? Yes, he must be. Even that Silver-Gowned Elder bowed to him. Zhu Qingshan quickly bowed to Lei Jing with raised hands and stepped out of the speed-testing secret room immediately. At the same time, Tu Jin also remembered something and bowed to Lei Jing with respect in his eyes. Then he left with Zhu Qingshan, too. After everyone left, Zhang Yuochen started to test his speed. The speed-testing secret room was a huge round space 60 meters in diameter. On the ground, there were inscriptions of array which could precisely record a warrior's fastest speed. Zhang Yuochen stood at the starting line and transferred the genuine chi to his legs. Then he performed the steps of Shadow of the Royal Wind Dragon. The genuine chi around him formed the faint shadow of a dragon. A woo-oo. With a low dragon whistle, Zhang Yuochen suddenly dashed out, turning into a chain of broken shadows. He stopped after running around the room 10 times. Standing aside, Lei Jing nodded and said, the fastest speed was in the 4th round, reaching 246 meters per second, which is a little bit slower than Luo Shuihan's. Of course, to be able to reach such speeds at your current cultivation, it is already very outstanding. When you reach the completion of the Earth Realm, you might be able to reach over 300 meters per second. As far as I know, even the top 10 warriors on the Earth board every year may find it hard to reach that speed. Looking at Zhang Yuochen, Lei Jing had to confess he had never imagined seeing such a genius from the Omen Ridge. Zhang Yuochen was much better than he had imagined. Then came the last round, the actual combat test, which was also the most important round. They came to the gate of the actual combat secret room together. The Silver-Gowned Elder announced, you will be arranged according to the results of your first and second round. Tu Jin and Zhu Qingshan, here. They stepped out and walked up to the gate. The Silver-Gowned Elder said, your general abilities are quite near, and also very near to the 97,000th warrior on the Earth board. Now, you can select the rankings you want to challenge. But remember, you only have 3 chances. In the end, you will be given the ranking according to your best performance. If you waste all 3 chances, it means you are not qualified to be listed on the Earth board yet. The data of the strength and speed tests were only a basis for reference. Often, during actual combat, there might be a lot of uncertain factors, such as fighting experience, realm, spiritual power, and mentality. All these factors could influence the final result. Some warriors whose general data were inferior to Tu Jin and Zhu Qingshan might get higher rankings than them. So the data could only be seen as a reference. The ability of actual combat was the most important thing. Now, you can pick your opponents, said the Silver-Gowned Elder. Tu Jin was very confident of his actual combat experience and said, I'm going to challenge the 94,271st warrior, Zhao Yuya. Zhu Qingshan said, I will choose the 95,432nd warrior, Zhu Xiaoxian. Apparently, before taking the test, they had done some research and read about the warriors on the Earth board. So they picked opponents that they thought were possible to defeat. After entering the secret room for a short while, they both came out wretchedly. Both of them were wounded and looked very disappointed. Apparently, they had failed their first challenge. After recovering, they immediately started their second round. With the lesson in mind, they had no choice but to lower their standards. This time, Tu Jin picked the 97,003rd warrior, and Zhu Qingshan chose the 97,459th one. After 1 hour, They retreated with wounds again. They failed again. After this, they became even more careful. If they failed again, they would get nothing. They would have to wait another 3 months to test again. The Earth Board updated every quarter. I will challenge the 99,450th warrior. Zhuo Feng. Tu Jin had already started to lose confidence and picked a warrior at the bottom of the board. Zhu Qingshan was also sweating. He kept turning the pages and searching the names. Finally, he picked one and said, I'll choose the 99,641st warrior, Qin Shilan. They entered the secret room once more. Luo Shuaihan frowned slightly and said, Tu Jin and Zhu Qingshan can both be seen as experienced masters. Among the young generation in the Omen Ridge, they are also top geniuses. Now they can't even defeat the warriors equal to them. It seems that the Earth Board test is not that simple. Zhang Yuochen replied, to be able to enter the Earth Board, which one of them isn't a battle-seasoned master? Standing to the side, Lei Jing reminded them, Zhang Yuochen, Luo Shuaihan, although you have good talent, you are still far from the warriors on the Earth Board. So, the actual combat experience is your weakness, and your mentality won't be as calm as the older warriors. So you should pick a warrior who is inferior to you the first time. If you can win, your courage will be boosted. With this courage, you can defeat stronger opponents easier. Tu Jin and Zhu Qingshan became anxious because of their first defeat. If your mentality is not good, it is difficult to achieve a good ranking. Thank you, Master, said Zhang Yuochen and Luo Shuaihan at the same time. After another 1 hour, Tu Jin retreated with wounds first. With messy hair, he looked very shaken. It can't be. How could I be defeated? Repeating the words, he wobbled out of the testing palace. I can't believe Tu Jin failed. Zhang Yuochen frowned. Luo Shuaihan said, the first 2 defeats had broken his confidence already. Once he lost his confidence, it would be normal for him to be defeated by warriors inferior to him. After a while, Zhu Qingshan walked out of the secret room, looking quite excited. It turned out that he had just managed to win the 3rd challenge and passed the 3rd round of the examination. The silver-gowned elder took Zhu Qingshan's data down in detail on a yellow notebook and said, although you have passed the test, you only defeated the 99,641st warrior. So it is still unknown whether you can enter the next phase's Earth Board. Every time the Earth Board updated, the rankings would change. Many warriors at the bottom of the list would be beaten out. Although Zhu Qingshan passed, he was still at the bottom. If next phase's Earth Board's competition was intense, he would be ranked over 100,000th. Zhu Qingshan was very happy to know of Tu Jin's failure. At least it meant he was stronger than Tu Jin. Whether or not he could enter the Earth Board, it would only depend on his luck. After Zhu Qingshan left, the silver-gowned elder looked at Luo Shuaihan and Zhang Yuochen. He said, Luo Shuaihan, according to your general ability, you are near to the 3,700th warrior on the Earth Board. Now, you can pick your opponents according to your ability. Remember, you only have 3 chances. Luo Shuaihan thought for a while and replied, then I'll challenge that 3,700th warrior. I want to know whether I can defeat my opponent when our abilities are about the same. The silver-gowned elder nodded and opened the secret room's door. After Luo Shuaihan entering the secret room, the silver-gowned elder walked to Lei Jing and bowed. He asked, Whole Master, how should Zhang Yuochen's actual combat test be arranged? The silver-gowned elder didn't know Zhang Yuochen's results, so he had to ask Lei Jing. Lei Jing answered, I've already told him. You don't need to worry about it. Zhang Yuochen, do you remember my words? Zhang Yuochen nodded. Then, go in, said Lei Jing. Zhang Yuochen entered the secret room. It was very large, 80 meters in length, 60 meters in width, and 40 meters in height. Some golden characters appeared on the stone wall. Each line of golden characters represented one Earth Board warrior. On the top of these characters, there were 2 huge golden characters. Earth Board. A deep and rich voice appeared in the secret room. I'm a separation of the vessel spirit of the Earth Board. Congratulations on passing the first 2 rounds. Now please tell me which warrior on the Earth Board of the Eastern region you wish to challenge. It was said that the Yellow Board, Profound Board, Earth Board, and Heaven Board were all one powerful holy weapon. which had vessel spirits that were as powerful as divine articles. The vessel spirit of the Earthboard condensed countless fighting wills of the Earthboard warriors. It even had its own mind and could divide into countless separations. They were all over the world and controlled the testing palace of the Earthboard.